like they're going to war, that's exactly what they're gonna do. I mean, those guys were itching for a fight.
Okay. Look, Calvin, I know you're upset, but it's not like all cops are bad.
Tell it to the people being choked out and killed in the streets. Dave, of course there's some good cops. But they're a part of a system that was created when we weren't even considered people. We were considered property. And yeah, I know people love to say that slaves were freed a long time ago. But it's that same system that's got us undereducated, over-incarcerated, and out of the voting booth.
Maybe you're right. Maybe the system is broken.
Oh, no. The system is working exactly how it's designed.
Berean Scholar. Berean Scholar. Waking up the people of the Most High. Got the knowledge to destroy the lies. DNA, history, open eyes. Walk into the darkness and turn on the lights. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Across the country later today. Wow, lots of heavy rains.
Look at that dark green area.
You were just talking about.
Tennis tots, political posters, and the miniseries Shogun, all in the new issue of TV.
Nope, saved by Philadelphia. Cheeks in a foot race.
And we're about to get away when...
Give it back!
Hi, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry to be late.
not a problem.
I'm CJ Craig.
Of course you are. I'm Dr. John Fallow. This is Dr. Cynthia Sales and Professor Donald Hugh.
Hugh?
Hugh.
Okay, and you are the Organization of Cartographers for Social Equality.
Well, we're from the OCSE. We have many members.
How many?
4,300 dues-paying members.
What are the dues?
$20 a year for the newsletter.
Let's start.
Wait, I want to see this.
This is Josh Lyman.
Indeed you are.
Josh, this is Dr. Fallow, and
Hi.
who's Mary Men.
Yes.
Did we begin?
Plain and simple, we'd like President Bartlett to aggressively support legislation that would make it mandatory for every public school in America to teach geography using the Peters projection map instead of the traditional Mercator.
Give me $200 and it's done. Really?
No. Why are we changing maps?
Because, CJ, the Mercator projection has fostered European imperialist attitudes for centuries and created an ethnic bias against the Third World.
Really?
The German cartographer, Mercator, originally designed this map in 1569 as a navigational tool for European sailors.
The map enlarges areas at the poles to create straight lines of constant bearing or geographic direction.
So it makes it easier to cross an ocean.
But
Yes.
it distorts the relative size of nations and continents.
Are you saying the map is wrong?
Oh dear, yes. Look at Greenland.
Okay.
Now look at Africa.
Okay.
The two land masses appear to be roughly the same size.
Yes.
Would it blow your mind if I told you that Africa is in reality 14 times larger?
Yes?
Here we have Europe, drawn considerably larger than South America. When it's 6.9 million square miles, South America is almost double the size of Europe's 3.8 million.
Alaska appears 3 times as large as Mexico, when Mexico is larger by 0.1 million square miles.
Germany appears in the middle of the map when it's in the northernmost quarter of the Earth.
Wait. Relative size is one thing, but you're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is?
Nothing's where you think it is.
Where is it?
I'm glad you asked. The Peters projection.
It has fidelity of axis.
Fidelity of position.
East-west lines are parallel and intersect north-south axes at right angles.
What the hell is that?
It's where you've been living this whole time. Should we continue?
Uh-huh.
But I believe you have been misinformed.
Is that a fact?
So, you're probably wondering what all of this has to do with social equality.
No, I'm wondering where France really is.
Guys, we want to thank you very much for coming in.
Hang on, we're gonna finish this.
Okay.
What do maps have to do with social equality, you ask?
She asked.
Salvatore Natoli of the National Council for Social Studies argues, in our society, we unconsciously equate size with importance and even power.
I'm going to check in on Tommy.
Go.
These guys find Brigadoon on that map, you'll call me.
Probably not.
The third world countries are misrepresented. They're likely to be valued less. When Mercator maps exaggerate the importance of Western civilization, when the top of the map is given to the Northern Hemisphere, and the bottom is given to the Southern, then people will tend to adopt top and bottom attitudes.
But wait, where else could you put the Northern Hemisphere but on the top?
On the bottom.
How?
Like this.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
Why not?
Because it's freaking me out.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Message! We can ignore the part of our Christian faith that says we all belong to the family of man. Totally ignore that. We can deny the place in the Bible where it says that Jesus had feet of bronze and kinky woolly hair. We can deny that because we only believe the parts of the Bible that make us comfortable. And we can deny the fact that racism based on skin color didn't start until about the 1600s. That started as a result of the Spanish Inquisition. It had nothing to do with anything except Torquemada and company killing off people to turn them into Christians. And he found out that several thousand of the people that he had killed were Christians. And he realized that you can't always tell what a person's religion is by looking at them, so he had to find a way to define those he could kill, and he had to have an easy way to define them. So he set upon skin color. It has nothing to do with having started with Jesus Christ. This business with the rightness of whiteness has only been around for between 500 and 600 years. And if you don't believe that, then you need to get the book The Myth of Race by Robert Wald Sussman. Read that book, and you'll find out that we have been, the myth of race isn't a myth. It's a lie. It's a flat-out lie to give one group power over everybody else and to use religion. Have you seen pictures of Jesus hanging on the cross? Does he have feet of bronze and kinky woolly hair? Well, then that isn't the Jesus that's talked about in the Bible, is it? We wouldn't let the Jesus that's talked about in the Bible into most of our Christian churches.
Right.
We've got it all over the building, all over the side of the wall, a wall-size map. Mm-hmm. Every college and university has a Mercator map somewhere, wall size. Think about this. This tickles me to death. Which you, I'm sure, saw when you were in school. Now, if you go to school today, you will see it again. Because this little bit of misinformation, because this little bit of misinformation, because this little bit of misinformation is used throughout the United States to teach about the size, the shape, and the location of all the important land masses on the face of the earth. Now you know which ones they are. And this is what it looks like when it's hanging on the wall.
Mm-hmm. That looks very familiar. Indeed.
Of course, yeah, well done it. Now, you'll notice that there's a Russia and a Russia. There's a China and another China. There's an India and another India. They have to do it that way in order to have the United States in the middle of the map.
Right.
In order to use this map at all, you have to take this piece off here, and put it over here. And now you see, the United States is no longer in the middle of the map.
Right.
Now, I did this with a major record company in New York City, I think in 1970. And an older man stood up in the back of the room and said, "Now, Elliot, you've gone too far." I said, "What's your problem?" You can't do that with a map." I said, "Well, Actually, you can. He said, no, the United States isn't in the middle of the map anymore. I said, the United States never was in the middle of the map. You need to realize this depends on how you draw your map. And then I pointed this little fact out to him. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
Even though it doesn't really look like it.
No, it is. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
It's crazy.
Now, according to your social studies teachers, what is the equator? Halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole on this map would be right about here.
Right.
And that means that Iowa has a semi-tropical climate.
Yeah.
Well, you've been in Minnesota in the wintertime.
I've been in Iowa too. It's definitely
You know that it doesn't have a tropical climate. So you have to then introduce a real version of the map of the world. I think this would do one.
This is
That's very the Peters projection map. The sizes on this map are right. The shapes are distorted. Look at Greenland on this map. Right there. See it?
Yeah, it's really tiny.
See how small that is?
Right.
Look at it on the Mercator projection.
So why do they do that? I don't understand.
Why? Because the Pope commissioned Mercator to make a map that shows the spread of Christianity. So all the countries in which there are predominantly white people are larger than those in the southern part of the world, halfway between the North Pole and South Pole.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have children going to school and they're seeing this map,
right,
they're seeing a distortion.
Yeah.
Of size, of shape, of location, of importance. If they're looking at this map, they're seeing a distorted, shape distorted, but size and location and importance makes sense. This makes no sense.
Right.
On that map, Alaska is bigger than Mexico. On this map, Mexico is bigger than Alaska. And look at Canada on this map. Look at that thing. Not much of a map. Look at Canada on a properly constructed map.
Yeah.
Do you think that's important?
A world of difference, actually.
A world of difference. That's a good thought.
What else don't I know?
Just in case you wanted to know for yourself, you can go to this website, thetruesize.com, and you can use this map and you can see the actual size of each country. I'm going to put in here, let's see, United States. Let's try Greenland first. Greenland, look at Greenland. All right, I'm going to click on it, bring it down. Let's see, put it into South America. See, Greenland is big. You thought it goes into United States, goes into Africa. Let's try another one. Let's do the U.S. Okay, United States. We'll leave it there. All right, let's drag it over, see how big the U.S. really is. It almost fits into South America. It fits into Africa. So it ain't as big as you think it was. Let's do one more. You know what I want to do? Let's try Russia, because it's a big landmass. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Man, they really messed with our minds with the size of these countries, didn't they? You know, it makes you wonder what else they didn't tell us in school. Please do your research. The truth isn't hard to find, but it can be hard to give up the deceptions we have lived through. This Ethiopian icon of the Virgin Mary, also known as the Theotokos, earliest depictions of Mary in Ethiopian art can be traced back to around the 6th to 7th century CE. I asked OpenAI to render a realistic version of the Theotokos, and look what it revealed. What is the complexion of the Virgin Mary and the baby Messiah? Amazingly, all the paintings of the Messiah, the Virgin Mary, King David, and the apostles painted in the 3rd to the 14th century show them with dark complexions and woolly hair.
Revelation 1:14-15. This passage describes Jesus' hair as white like wool, as white as snow, and his feet as like burnished bronze. The term burnished bronze can be interpreted as a dark reddish brown color, which some scholars link to a darker skin tone. The Bible recounts that the Messiah's family fled to Egypt to escape Herod's persecution, according to some interpretations. This suggests that he would have been familiar with the people and culture of Egypt, where darker skin tones were common. It's important to remember that Yahawasha, aka Jesus, was a Judean man living in northeastern Africa during the time of the Roman Empire, otherwise known as the Middle East. The majority of people in that region had darker skin tones. The earliest icon was found in Ethiopia, Russia, or parts of Europe. I added even older depictions of the Hebrew Messiah and other biblical characters.
Some skeptics said over time and over the years that soot, smoke, and other things caused the paintings to turn darker, smoke or whatever. But most scholars said if you look at the details of the color of the clothing, why didn't they turn dark? Just the skin turned dark? All these pictures can be found on the internet under Ethiopian Biblical Pictures, Russian Iconology, or Russian Icons.
The Lachish reliefs are ancient Assyrian palace reliefs depicting the Assyrian siege and conquest of the town of Lachish in 701 BC, currently hanging in the British Museum. You can find it online. It shows the details of the people of the city of Lachish who were Judean. So I uploaded it to ChatGPT and asked it to show the details of the relief and what their skin color and hair would look like. And this is the result.
Now, after learning all this, do you know now that we are the people of the book? And if you are not convinced, it's time to know the truth for yourself and your family.
We the people of the book. I stay humble, I ain't even boasting. I'm just here telling you facts. No more secret, it's gotta be spoken.
What do you think about this topic? I want to encourage you to be just like the people of Berea in the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 11. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so. The Bereans verify the teachings they heard from. It's time to deepen your understanding and see your reflection within the sacred pages. Please click subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay up to date with the Berean Scholar channel.